Hi friends, it's Creatively Michelle here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to have a little Halloween fun with the Ghostly Greetings collection by Graphic 45. This is such a gorgeous collection full of vintage Halloween charm, spooky ghosts, delicate spiderwebs, curious black bats, pumpkins, fall florals, and everything that's eerie but enchanting October vibe. So, fussy cutting. Now, why fussy cutting? Now, if you know me, you know I love ephemera packs, and layering is such my vibe. And Graphic 45 makes it so easy because their ephemera is just so perfect. I don't even have to fussy cut them, but sometimes the pattern paper have images that are just too pretty to leave behind, and that's when I bring out the scissors. So, fussy cutting does take a little patience, but it does make such a big difference in giving your projects a personal touch. I'm definitely a no borders girl when I cut, but I like to know, are you team border or no borders? So, as you see here, I had pieces of scrap paper that I loved little floral images. So what I did add my adhesive, my brayer's my best friend because I love a thick ephemera. So here, I want to share a little bit about my tools. My favorites are the Perfection scissor tools from scrapbook.com. But if I'm doing thick ephemera like I'm doing on this video, Tim Holtz mini Snips for thicker paper is the way to go. Sometimes even a craft knives for those little tricky spots. Keeping your tools sharpened makes fuzzy cutting so much easier. So as you see here, I speed up my video just a little bit so that I can definitely speed up the process of the video. So here's a couple little quick tips. When you're cutting, you're going to move the paper and not the scissors. It makes those curves and corners so much smoother. And I like the rough cuts around the designs first, and then I go back for the detail trimming next. And most importantly, don't rush. Just put your favorite music on, podcast, relax, enjoy the process. So here, as I'm cutting, I'm going to let you watch for the next few minutes while I finish up my fuzzy cutting, and I'll be back. Now what I want to share with you next is what I'm using, the square cards. It's a 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 in black by Graphic 45. I love this cardstock. It's 100 pounds, so it's super thick. And definitely you're going to get 6 sets. You're going to get the envelope and also the cardstock. So here, what I'm going to make a Halloween card, and as you can see, the piece comes in at 5 1/4 by 10 1/2, and I'm going to fold it in half to create my card base. So here I am, just folding it. I'm going to use my little handy dandy bone folder here. Super easy and quick. See, and it fits perfectly right inside the envelope. So now let's start layering my card. So I like to add any kind of lighter color to give it that little extra brightness to my projects. I'm not too much into the dark side of it, so any chance I get to use a white or a lighter card base, this is the cream color, I'm going to use it. So my first one is the cream base that I'm going to put over. I cut that a little smaller than the 5 1/4, so I believe it's 5 1/8 by 5 1/8. So I'm just going to eye it here, lay down my card, eye to make sure that it goes on nice and straight. Next, let's use a green. I've pre-measured it. This one is going to be 5 inches by 5 inches. I've already pre-added my double-sided tape on the back. And if you've seen my previous videos, I love using the Suquan double-sided tape. It's just my favorite. And I get that at Amazon. I'll link those below for you. So now we're going to eye it here and add that layer, that green layer. So you can see on the background has the black, and then you see the cream kind of peeking through. I love that. Kind of lightens it a little bit. Now here is the pattern paper I'm going to use. But this, I'm going to use foam tape. So watch as I add about 5 strips of foam tape, like 5 or 6 strips of foam tape going down. I love creating dimension, so I mean, to me, my foam tape is my best friend. I use it for absolutely every project I get. So I'm either ordering on Amazon or I'm going over to Hobby Lobby sometimes when they have them on sale. I love myself a good discount, and I use so much of the foam tape in all my projects. So let's remove the top layer of the foam tape. Makes it easy because it gives it extra dimension, and it really makes the card feel custom when you're adding dimension to it. I usually get a lot of great feedback when I'm creating dimension on that. So let's put this and center it, and you're going to barely see, as you can see that as I'm centering it, you're barely going to see the white, the cream color paper, and the green peek out of it, and that's what I want. So definitely, let's start layering it. Here's a couple of ghosts, and like I said before, Graphic 45 has the best ephemera. That super thick cardstock. It kind of feels like 100 pounds. I don't know how thick that cardstock is, but definitely it's really thick, and I love it. I don't ever have to fussy cut my ephemera from them. So let's add some double-sided tape on one of the ghosts that I'm layering, and then the second one that's going to go kind of on top to the side a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of, I've already pre-added the foam and a little tape at the bottom to create dimensions. Here's another tip. I love to kind of bend It's super thick, the ephemera, so I like to bend the corners up to create a little more dimension as well. So sometimes when I'm layering my ephemera, sometimes I'm a little off, so definitely just when I'm putting it down, and as you can see here, it's a little crooked, so I got to lift it up a little. And thank goodness it didn't stick hard all the way, so I'm kind of pulling just a little so I can center it and put it straight just the way I like it. And with the second ghost, I'm just going to remove that foam tape top layer, and at the bottom I put tape, so kind of just the top part of it is popping out a little, and then you have the bottom. So definitely double-sided tape at the bottom only. So I'm going to layer it to the one side here. Love it. Now it's time to use the fuzzy little images I cut out, my fuzzy cutting little ephemera I created. Here's my moon. I had already pre-added some foam tape on that one to create dimension. It was perfect size. The ephemera fit just above the image perfectly. Here are the florals I cut out. So let's play around while I see how I want to get these done, these put down. You just play around with it. So it looks like I got to cut a little extra floral piece off here, and that's okay. There's no rules when creating. It's whatever you want it to be. So here we go. I think that's perfect. Let's just cut this last little piece off here. Oops. There we go. Now let's add some adhesive to the back of it. Here's some double-sided little dots. See how I'm twisting up the images a little? That gives it, that creates some more dimension to it. It's pretty fun. Here we go. Let's add our double-sided tape. There we go. Put that down, and we're going to add the last piece. Let's just make sure it fits perfectly right here. So on this piece, I need, since I didn't put any foam dots on the first piece I put down, let's add a couple of foam dots on here, and then we're going to add double-sided tape to the bottom, again to create dimension. And there you go. I'm loving how this card's coming out. Now let's find a sentiment. As you can see, I've used this sticker pack very well. I'm going to add some foam tape on the back of my little sentiment that reads, "Oh Bats." I chose the green because there's a little bit of green in the card, so I always like to pull the color that's least in the pattern paper so that it pops more, it ties it all together. So it's going to tie the cardstock that I trimmed around the card and the little grass on the background. It's all going to come and tie in perfectly. So here I am removing the protective layer of the foam dots. And definitely want to center this right smack probably here at the bottom, right on top of the floral sprays. Now let's add this bat here, and again, let's give it some dimension. So 2 little small foam dots on each end, and some double tape to secure it right on top of the moon. I'm a little too low on my filming page here, but you can kind of see what I'm doing. Trying to get the layers off my adhesive. There you go. I'm kind of hiding in the double-sided tape as a little too big. The image is a little too small for the strip I use. So here we go. Let's center it. Perfect. Let's push it down. Make sure it adheres really good to the top of the moon. And here we go. So next, for that special touch, let's add some stickles. I love stickles. So anytime I can add a little glitter magic, here I am. So this one is the diamond. I'm going to add to only the eyes. Here I am making sure that it comes out. It doesn't come out in a splat, because sometimes it dries up and I've got to pick it up. But no, this I use it so much, so it's definitely not dry. So if you can see here, I don't know if the camera's going to catch her. It's so good. Just a little sparkle in the eye. Now, platinum is my second favorite. I love adding special touches of this platinum glitter all over. Let's get this stuff out of the way. So I'll go around to see, because I don't want to add too much, but I definitely want to make sure to give it that little special touch. So here I'm going to start adding some platinum glitter right smack in the middle of the floral, so they'll give us that little that little special pop that I'm looking for. Okay, and then the tree branches. Let's give some sparkle to those tree branches in the background. So as I wrap up my video, as you can see, the card is almost finished. I just love how the mix of ephemera and fussy cutting details come together. And you're going to see that as soon as I finish this card. I'm almost done. So, but I think that the results are so worth it when you're fussy cutting it. What do you think? So below, I'm going to link all the stuff, all the fun stuff, the paper. I'm going to link the tools I used and the glitter as well. What do you think? So let me know in the comments, are you team border or no border when it comes to fussy cutting? That's cute. Thanks so much for watching. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss any future crafty projects. Until next time, stay creative and happy crafting. Bye.